season records for both the first game and for the season's average attendance. And of course, no doubt, when they saw the video, they saw our band, they saw our students all fired up, and that set some kind of records, I'm sure. And it was really the entire team, the entire group of individuals cheering for the whole season that impressed a lot of people. And third, they liked our schedule. They liked the fact that people like us. They liked the fact that Rice wanted to play us, and Baylor wanted to play us, Oklahoma State wanted to play us, Arizona wanted to play us, Arizona State wanted to play us, University of Virginia wanted to play us, and on and on. So, and I can't tell you how many schools Larry Coker has turned down. He's got a lot of friends out there, but now he's got a few folks saying, come on, Larry, let's play. And so he has really, it's really been impressive. Now, in order to get Conference USA, we just put all the stops. We felt like not only we think it's a natural, we got the attendance, we got the dome, we got the team, we got the students, but we wanted to show them we also had a community. And one of the reasons our success was because our community came out. The majority of people in our stands were not students. There will be, little by little, growing, but the majority of students was our community. San Antonio this is our home team. So when we got ready to launch our campaign, we asked Mayor Castro, and Judge Nelson Wolff, Speaker Joe Strauss, Speaker of the House Joe Strauss, the Greater Chamber, and many others in this room. Henry Cisneros wrote some letters to all of these presidents at all these institutions. So I want to personally thank you. The campaign worked. What you folks said to folks over the phone and in letters and by your presence really said a lot for the kind of community we have, and this is the kind of support that impressed them. And in fact, they knew about the support from the county and the city at $22 million for a track field, and the soccer field is going up. Park West, we had a press conference recently about that. Thank all of you for making it happen. Now, the exciting thing about this, where we're going into Conference USA, is that it is geographically compact. There are going to be 4 Texas teams. UTSA, UTEP, North Texas, and Rice. Now, we play our neighbors. We play Tulsa, and then we play in Louisiana with Tulane and Louisiana Tech. So this provides us a lot of advantages, and Lynn Hickey is going to talk about those advantages. But it does have regional rivalry opportunities. It allows our fans to travel to some of these games. You know, we like going to Houston. We can go to Dallas. We can go to New Orleans, other places. These are kind of things that we can do for our fans. And because we're in a compact regional area, it also means that our student athletes are not away from campuses as very often and very long. Well, I've always said I have the best athletic director in America. And now she's proven to me again that she's stepping up. Okay, so I want you to know that she got on this notion of going to expand and do and move to other levels soon after I hired her. And she said, look, I know I can't bring up football, but I know that and she knew this and I knew this, if we're going to have a football program in the future, we've got to add, for Title IX, we've got to add some, balance here. So she went after and got the women's golf team and then women's soccer team way back 10 years ago, all putting us in a position to when we would ultimately get, and the big move was to get our students behind us. And she worked and talked to many different student groups. I remember when she first got here, she went to talk to a student group, and there were like 3 people in the room. And I saw her afterwards, and I could tell it's been a rough day. I only talked to 3 people. But she said, I'm going to continue talking to people until they believe. And they'll believe that one day, certainly with the athletic fee, what's key to our being able to launch this program, and that works. So I'm going to turn it over to Lynn Hickey, and then to my good friend, Senator John Montford, who's been with us the whole time, pushing and pushing to get us there to Conference USA. Lynn Hickey.
Okay. Thank you. Well, if he's going to call me the best athletic director in the nation, then we definitely have the best president in the nation, okay? That's true. It's true. It is an honor and very exciting to be in front of you today. It's almost surreal. We actually pulled in the student athletes and coaches yesterday afternoon to give them a little bit of heads up first on what had actually happened with the Board of Regents and what we were going to do today. And it was kind of hard to talk because it's like, this is not real. I can't believe all this is happening. But I would like to recognize all our student athletes and our coaches that are here, because one of the things that we need to keep in focus is that the reason we're doing this is for our students. We're doing it for our students, we're doing it for our university, we're doing it for our community. This is not some wild haired brain idea that this crazy lady has done. This was the right thing to do. And primarily because it matches the mission of what this unbelievable gentleman has done. I thought yesterday when I drove off campus, because I park over by the intramural fields, and when I drove off campus, I thought the first year I was here, we had one intramural field, for 17,000 students. Because there wasn't a lot of people that believed in what UTSA could potentially become, and it was thought more as an afterthought that this is just where people go to school because they can't go anywhere else. And because of Dr. Romo's leadership and getting everybody focused on, we can be much greater than that, and that the students on this campus need a campus life, just like any other campus. Because of his courage and his foresight, this is why we're here today. Have a lot of people to think there's no way I'm going to be able to do that appropriately today because Brad told me not to talk very long. But I think if there's anybody I think besides Dr. Romo, and I have a chance to speak to Mr. Monfort here in a minute, and my boss, Gage Payne, is Brad Parrott. And now I cry. He always cries first. But the amount of time and vision and the networking that he brought to us, we did it. Okay, pretty cool. The reason we have gone into this venture is we were very fortunate to have the invitation to the WAC, a great group of schools, and I just came from a meeting with them in Phoenix. A little awkward, a little difficult, because there's disruption. And talking about a class group of people, and the interim commissioner, Jeff Hurd, handled it extremely well. But it was becoming evident that there were not going to be enough football schools to stay in the WAC for us to compete at an FBS level. And we have too big of an investment to let that go. So as the movement began and the rumblings about Mountain West and Conference USA, and we had reached out to Conference USA several years ago, and so everybody started reaching out again and had an opportunity to make our case, and both commissioners, the Mountain West and Conference USA, came and visited San Antonio in the 1st of April. And I think once they were here, and with what Mr. Monfort's group did to solidify that how the community was behind us, then it became like, this is a no-brainer. This is a city that we need to have in this mix. And so we were very, very fortunate. I really say many thanks to the board of Conference USA, those presidents, the ADs, and to Britton Banowski. Talking about a class group of schools, and they've always had a reputation for keeping academics and athletics prioritized correctly. We're going to be in, it's a nationally recognized brand, and so the opportunities we're going to have from ESPN to Fox Sports, to CBS Sports. I mean, it's going to be a new way of life around here. They've done a good job in really keeping the focus of trying to keep regional play. And so when you look at the map, I think there's a map somewhere, and look at the group of schools we're going to be able to compete with, and our fans can be a piece of this. And we're going to have new rivalries. We're going to be able to keep old rivalries. And so it's a win-win. It's the best of everything. We had actually, in our feasibility study back in 2006, is that right, Brad? 2006, the conference we had picked to be a part of was Conference USA, and had presented that to the Board of Regents for a long, long time. We were open about it. We set our targets and wanted everybody to know what direction we're going to go. What's going to happen from this point on, I don't have a lot of information right now on how divisional play will be done. Know that there's still some communication between Conference USA and the Mountain West, so there could potentially still be some kind of alliance or merger. Don't know the details on that, but know that because we've signed up to be a part of Conference USA, then whatever they do to move forward, that we have also signed up to be a part of that collaboration. So we're very excited. Thank you for being here today. I would just, you know, Secretary Cisneros, it was an honor to have you in my office a while ago. And I mentioned to him that if he hadn't been courageous enough to build that dome a long time ago, that once again, we wouldn't have had this opportunity. And I think all of us need to remember that there's a plan for our lives. And it's our job to work really, really hard to keep opportunities opening, doors opening, so that we're making sure that we're finishing the plan. So thank you very much for that. John Monfort has helped for years. He has been a great agent for us. He's been a great deal of support in helping us move this through Dr. Romo's office, the idea of football. And as chair of the Greater Chambers Football Task Committee, he kind of got us on the map 5 or 6 years ago. And then when we needed help to present ourselves to Conference USA, we went back to him. We are glad he's back in San Antonio. He told me he's here to stay, right? Okay, all right. So just many, many thanks to he and the Chamber for stepping forward and making all these calls. Everywhere I went through the Final Four and visiting with Britton Banowski, the commissioner, and they kept telling us, yeah, we're getting all these calls, all these people, these are really important people. And but that showed that everyone in the city cares. So it's my honor to turn this over to Senator Monfort.
Thank you, Lynn. It's been a long 7 years, and dealing with Lynn Hickey for 7 years is like being pecked to death by a rubber duck. It is a tough go. But several of us got together, and you know, the credit really goes, I think, to all the people that have been mentioned, but Secretary Cisneros, Joe McKinney, David Worley, all helped co-chair this football task force. Jim Greenwood, chairman of the board of the chamber, is here today. But I think in around the middle of the last decade, we sort of got together and said, you know, San Antonio has grown exponentially. Just in 10 years, it went from the 9th largest city to the 7th largest city in America. And we felt like we can be a big city or we can be a great city. You know, one of the things that we needed, candidly, was a Division I football program. And these folks really put their shoulder to the wheel and helped put this together. And we owe the business community and the Greater Chamber a lot of credit for unifying behind UTSA, because I will tell you, there are lots of computers in this university, and a lot of universities advertising now about how to get your degree online, but you know, nothing enhances the student experience more than an opportunity like this to attend a great university and participate in all these activities. So I'm very proud as just one small part of this for San Antonio, the greater San Antonio area. I think this is going to be a real jewel in Central Texas. And you know, one thing I kept saying, we don't have to play second fiddle to anybody else. I'd like to beat UT Austin. And Brad Parrott, I want to thank you personally for your diligence and timely, just incessant work on this thing. It was a huge undertaking, but we did it. And I think it's one more notch, one more step forward for San Antonio truly being one of the great cities in America. So congratulations to you, Ricardo.
Thank you.
For your tremendous leadership, Lynn and Brad, and certainly I appreciate the business community solidly getting behind this initiative. But remember, that a walk before you can run, and Larry Coker, we don't expect you to win every game right off the bat. But let's get behind Larry and the program now, as you did this past year, and let's really reach our stride, because we are indeed one of America's great cities. Thank you.
Lynn, just wanted to ask you, have you talked to Larry Tice about continuing the rivalry with Texas State, since they're apparently going to go a different way? You know, you guys are going to be in the WAC.
Yeah, and I think, first of all, I would like to wish congratulations to Texas State for both of us being, we're a startup program, but they're an FCS program, to move to FBS as quickly as we have, and for both of us to land on our feet with very good groups of schools. They're going to be in the Sun Belt. That's a great group of universities. We have had brief conversations in passing. We were at a meeting this week together, and then was actually with Coach Fran and Coach Coker at a meeting, I guess the day before yesterday. The football coaches and ADs met and talked about that our intentions would be to very much, both with UTA, I spoke with the AD at UTA, to try to keep competitions going. I think on the football piece, and I mentioned this to Coach Fran, as we're going to have to see how all the scheduling lays out, but you know, the first opportunity that we can get to make sure that we have an opportunity to keep that competition going would be great. We have them in the Dome this year. That'll be fun. That'll be fun. We need a sellout for that game. This community, this part of Texas should pack the Dome for the Texas State UTSA game. And if that's a game that we can keep going, I think that's wonderful for our program. I think that's wonderful for the fans.